The 2010 congressional elections in Indiana were held on November 2, 2010 to determine who would represent the state of Indiana in the United States House of Representatives. Representatives are elected for two-year terms. Those elected served in the 112th Congress from January 2011 until January 2013, except for the winner of the 3rd District special election, who will serve the few remaining weeks of the 111th Congress. Indiana has 9 seats in the House, apportioned according to the 2000 United States Census. Overview. Congressional districts. District 1 Democrat Pete Visclosky has represented this district since 1985. The PVI is D+8. He will face Republican Tea Party activist Mark Leva, and Libertarian candidate John Morris. Visclosky has been endorsed by the Northwest Indiana Times and the Indianapolis Star. District 2 Democrat Joe Donnelly has represented this district since 2007 and is running for re-election. He is being challenged by Republican nominee State Representative Jackie Walorski. Obama carried this district with 54% of the vote in 2008. In District 2 from Our Campaigns. Campaign contributions from OpenSecrets.org. 2010 Indiana 2nd District from CQ Politics. Race profile at the New York Times. Polling District 3 Republican Mark Suda represented this district from 2003 until his resignation on May 18, 2010. Fellow Republican John McCain carried this district with 56% of the vote in the 2008 presidential elections. In the Republican primary, car dealer Bob Thomas gave Suda a strong challenge in the primary. An April survey USA poll showed Thomas within 6 percentage points of Suda. Other Republican candidates included attorney Phil Troyer and Tea Party activist Greg Dickman. Suda won the primary with 48% of the vote. He was to face Democrat Fort Wayne Councilman Tom Hayhurst. However, as Suda announced his resignation from Congress and his resignation as the Republican candidate for Congress on May 18, 2010, the governor of Indiana will set a date for a special election. A caucus will be held to choose the Republican candidate for the special election and the general election. The special election is expected to be held concurrently with the general election in November. The Republican caucus to choose the nominee was held on June 12, 2010. State Senator Marlon Stutzman was selected as the Republican nominee for both the special and general elections. Republican primary polling District 3 special. The 2010 special election for Indiana's 3rd congressional district will be held November 2, contemporaneously with the regularly scheduled general election. The special election was called to fill the vacancy left by Republican Mark Suda, who resigned after an affair with a staffer was revealed. Democratic candidates Dr. Tom Hayhurst, a former Fort Wayne City Councilor, 2006 and 2010 Democratic nominee. Republican candidates, nominee Marlon Stutzman, state senator and former U.S. Senate candidate. Lost nomination Randy Borah, state representative. Liz Brown, Fort Wayne City Councilor. Wes Culver, state representative. Phil Troyer, attorney and opponent of Suda in the 2010 primary. Polling District 4 Republican Steve Barr isn't running for re-election. McCain carried the district with 56% of the vote. Todd Rokita, the Republican Secretary of State of Indiana, and Republican State Senator Brant Hirschman filed to run. Cheryl Denise Allen and Mark Seitz have also filed to run for the Republican nomination. Rokita won the primary and will face Democrat David Sanders in the general election. District 5 Republican Dan Burton has represented this district since 2003. John McCain carried 59% of the vote in 2008. Former Republican candidate Rose McVeigh, Indiana Republican Party Executive Director Luke Messer, State Representative Mike Murphy, and 2008 primary challenger John McGough have all formally announced their intention to run. Burton won the primary with just 30% of the vote. He will face Democrat Tim Crawford in the general election. Republican primary polling District 6. Republican Mike Pence represented this district since 2003. In the 2008 presidential election, Republican nominee McCain carried the district with 52% of the vote. He faced Democratic nominee Barry Welsh, a minister, and defeated him to keep his seat. District 7 Democrat Andre Carson has served since 2008. Obama carried this district with 71% of the vote, considered safe or solid by most sources. He again faced perennial Republican candidate Marvin Scott, who took issue with Carson's Muslim faith during the general election. However, Carson defeated Scott to retain his seat. District 8. This was an open seat as Democratic incumbent Brad Ellsworth ran for the U.S. Senate. The Democratic nominee was lawyer and state representative Trent Van Haften. The Republican nominee was Larry Buckshon, president of Ohio Valley Heart Care. In District 8 from our campaigns. Campaign contributions from OpenSecrets.org. 2010 Indiana 8th District from CQ Politics. Race profile at the New York Times. Buckshon received support from the National Republican Congressional Committee and was named a GOP Young Gun. During the campaign, Buckshon was endorsed by several conservative interest groups and elected officials, including the Indiana Chamber of Commerce Congressional Action Committee, United States Chamber of Commerce National Right to Life Committee, Indiana Right to Life, Indiana Manufacturers Association, Campaign for Working Families, House Minority Leader John Boehner, U.S. Congressman Mike Pence, and Indiana Governor Mitch Daniels. Buckshon received significant campaign contributions from medical groups. Buckshon defeated Van Haften by a margin of 21 points, winning all 18 counties in the district. Polling District 9 Democratic incumbent Baron Hill was challenged by Republican Todd Young, Libertarian Greg Knott, and Independent Jerry Lucas. He was defeated and lost his seat to Todd Young. In District 9 from our campaigns. Campaign contributions from OpenSecrets.org. 2010 Indiana 9th District from CQ Politics. Race profile at the New York Times. Primaries. Five-term Congressman Democrat Baron Hill has won in the 9th District since 1998, except for in 2004, when he lost to Republican Mike Soderell by 1,425 votes. Hill narrowly regained his seat from Soderell in 2006 and won another race with Soderell in 2008 by a wider margin. McCain carried the district with only 50% of the vote. In 2010, Soderell sought another rematch, but lost to former Marine captain and Orange County Deputy Prosecutor Todd Young in the Republican primary. Independent Jerry Lucas, a nurse and Army veteran, has also filed to run. Greg Knott entered the race as the Libertarian Party candidate. Prior to the campaign season, Hill came under increasing public pressure following the passage of the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act. At public meetings, Hill had to be escorted by state police for his protection and had heated verbal exchanges with the public which made local news on several occasions and leading Hill to refuse to hold additional public meetings in person. Hill launched a series of campaign ads beginning in mid-August questioning Young's intentions for the future of Social Security and highlighting a comment made by Young referring to it as a Ponzi scheme. Local media covering the debate questioned both candidates about their ads. Hill defended his support of health care stimulus and new regulatory legislation as the correct votes for the future of the country. Young reconfirmed his position, stating Social Security was indeed a Ponzi scheme and needed reform to remain financially viable, and called on Hill to explain his financial plans for the nation. The last week of August, the Young campaign began running ads on radio and television pointing out Hill's record of supporting spending legislation and calling on fiscal restraint in Congress. On the night of August 30th, Young's Bloomington campaign headquarters were vandalized. The air conditioner was stolen. The phone and internet lines into the building were cut. The power disconnected. The Young campaign requested that Hill participate in 7 town hall-style debates. The first scheduled debate will be held October 18th at the Busker-Chumley Theater in Bloomington. In a post-primary June public opinion strategies poll, Hill had a 41-33 lead over Young. An August poll conducted by the Young campaign suggested only 37% of voters believed Hill deserved another term. During the first week of September, Real Clear Politics had the race rated as a toss-up.